In the headlines, Trip nabbed Boko Haram suspect in Taraba raid. Atiku Obi clash over anti-Tinubu coalition plans. Afenifere can resist Sharia court in Southwest. And on the foreign scene, Hamas rejects U.S. plan for Palestinian relocation to Egypt, Jordan. Hello, welcome to News Updates on Trust TV. I am Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. Troops of the 6th Brigade Nigerian Army in Sector 3 of Operation Wellstroke have tracked and apprehended a suspected member of the Boko Haram terrorist group. It identified as Gambo Grema, also known as Gamboy, in Maihula town of Bali local government area. During preliminary investigations, the suspect confessed to being part of a syndicate deployed by Boko Haram to Taraba State. Their mission, according to the suspect, was to engage in kidnapping for ransom as a means of financing their terrorist operations and also establishing new cells within the state. The suspect further revealed that the syndicate also harbored members of the Islamic State in West African province who were deployed from the Timbuktu Triangle to carry out other criminal activities. The commander, 6th Brigade Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Kinsi Chideberewa, while commenting on the operation, noted that the operation underscores the commitment of 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Sector 3 to neutralizing threats posed by terrorist elements and safeguarding the lives and property of citizens in Taraba State and beyond. Meanwhile, the Kano State Command has arrested 3 suspects in connection with the death of a Gombe retired permanent secretary who reside in Jambolo area of Kano State. Addressing journalists in the arrest, the State Commissioner of Police, Salman Dogo, responded to other recent security developments that have raised alarm among residents and authorities. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim reports.
It was a tragic event for a former permanent secretary in Gombe State, Atiku Muazu, when he was abducted from his Jambulu residence in Kano, despite a 2 million ransom reportedly paid to secure his release. Abubakar Hassan, aka Captain, speaks on how he lured Muazu to Jigawa on the pretext of taking him to collect his car from his mechanic. We shared the money and I was given 300,000 naira. I came with him to ring him, pretending to take him to collect his car. We demanded for 20 million naira, but we got 1.8 million naira.
He conspired with 4 others, including the mechanic of the victim, held him hostage, and later killed him after collecting a ransom of 2 million naira. A toy gun, 6 rubber bullets was recovered from the suspect. The suspect currently undergoing district investigation at the Command Criminal Investigation Department Anti-Kidnapping Unit. They will soon be charged to court.
A relative narrates how much the deceased trusted his alleged killers. They connived with my father's mechanic, whom he trusts so much, up to the extent that once the mechanic concludes any repairs, my dad will hand him his ATM card and details to go and get his money.
Another report was received on 26 January 2025 at about 1:30 a.m. that armed men, large in number, riding on motorcycle, shooting sporadically, invaded the residence of Alhaji Awalu at Sabwa Ugwa Garu Kabo LGA Kano and robbed him the sum of 8 million naira. They also went away with one of his daughter, Zainab Aliu F, 16 years old, to unknown destination. The police command has set up all machinery in place to ensure the rescue of the victim and apprehended the perpetrator.
Similarly, these young men were arrested for setting up a roadblock to seize phones and damage vehicles from residents in Hotoro area.
17 suspected armed robbers who stormed Hotoro cow cutters, Kano, breaking store shops and motor vehicle, all as attacking and robbing innocent people of their belongings. Members of the public are urged to continue to remain vigilant and cautious. Our safety is paramount. Therefore, I encourage you to be aware of your surroundings and report any suspicious activities or individual to the nearest police station.
As authorities work to restore calm, the people of Kano State are hoping for a swift resolution to these cases and the continued peace they have enjoyed for years. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now moving on, the 1917 Northern Consensus Movement and the police have called for peace and restraint among members of Northern Hausa community in Owerri, Imo State. This follows clashes that have erupted between members of the community in the past few months. Following the clash, tensions have risen, sparking unrest and concerns within the region. Deputy Inspector General of Police Dasuki Galadanchi, who made clear recommendations for peace, urged both parties involved to refrain from any actions that could disrupt public order.
Both parties agreed to abide by the recommendations signed and undertaken to maintain peace and committed to preserving the status quo. In conclusion, it is the firm belief of NSNCM that this matter has been amicably resolved and that the Hausa community in Amahausa Owerri can continue to utilize the property for legitimate business purposes without fear of interference or intimidation. This resolution underscores the importance of peaceful dialogue, respect for rule of law, and unity among community members. As an organization, we remain committed to safeguarding the right of Northerners and promoting harmony wherever they reside.
Now, away from that, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Labour Party leader Peter Obi have clashed over the idea of forming a coalition to challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 elections. Speaking at the Democracy Conference in Abuja, Atiku stressed the need for opposition unity, arguing that only a coalition of like-minded parties can unseat a ruling government, no matter how unpopular. Now, in contrast, Obi rejected coalitions aimed solely at power grabbing, insisting on prioritizing Nigeria's fixture and tackling systemic issues like monetized policy. The conference, themed Strengthening Nigeria's Democracy, Pathway to Good Governance and Political Integrity, also featured NNPP leader Rabiu Kwankwaso, who criticized coalition talks as hypocritical. Atiku called for reforms to strengthen democracy, including building institutional capacity in parties, enforcing compliance, and judicial accountability. Obi urged Nigerians to focus on governance and end the desperation for political power, emphasizing integrity and public interest over politics.
Whatever happens with democracy affects citizens. They affect their daily living, they affect the future of their children. So we must all man get involved to make it work, because you know it is not working in Nigeria today. What's your comment? Whether we're going to do coalition or not, let's talk about the future of the country. Because often we abandon the country and what we need to do, talking about power grab. I'm not interested in any coalition that is for purpose of taking power. It is about discussing Nigeria. How do we care about securing Nigeria? How do we care about the common person in Nigeria? How do we care about our children being in school? That is the most important thing.
Moving on, Christian and Muslim leaders in the Southwest are clashing over plans by the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs to establish Sharia arbitration panels in Ogun, Osun, Ondo, Ekiti, Oyo, and Lagos states. While proponents argue the panels are voluntary and aligned with constitutional rights to religious freedom, critics, including Afenifere and the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, oppose the move, citing risk to the secular legal framework despite resistance from state governments and community leaders. SCIA leaders like Dr. Amid Bakare and Dr. Rafiu Bello insists the panels are peaceful mechanisms to resolve disputes among Muslims on issues like inheritance and marital conflicts. Opposition recently forced the suspension of a planned panel inauguration in Oyo, while similar panels have operated in Lagos, Ekiti. In Osun, SCI leaders have urged Governor Ademola Adeleke to upgrade the panel to a full Sharia court. The debate highlights concern over religion and governance, with critics warning the panels could deepen divisions in the region. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery is set to receive 12 million barrels of crude oil from the United States, with shipments expected to arrive in February, according to the Africa Report. This move comes as local crude supply challenges hinder the refinery's efforts to reach its 650,000 barrels per day capacity. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, has struggled to supply 350,000 BPD from the 450,000 designated for domestic consumption, forcing the refinery to rely on imports. Currently, the facility operates at a 500,000 BPD, with plans to hit full capacity by mid-2025. To support this, 8 additional storage tanks are being built, increasing crude storage capacity by 41.67% to 3.4 billion liters. The refinery, which supplies petrol, diesel and aviation fuel to Nigeria and other countries, has adopted a Naira for crude arrangement initiated by President Tinubu. However, officials say importing crude is essential to meet production targets amid inconsistent local supplies. Some motorists have lamented the deteriorating nature of the Oyo-Ogbomosho road, which they said is causing loss of lives and properties, mostly perishable goods and other food items being transported from the northern part of the country to the southwest. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi, who has toured several sections of the road where drivers struggle to navigate their ways, report that several trucks had broken down due to the bad state of the road, while others have fallen in an attempt to navigate rough portions. The report.
Thick dust, weariness, and loss of lives and properties are making travelers frustrated with the Oyo-Ogbomosho Highway in the southwest part of Nigeria that connects the region to Ilorin, the capital of Kwara State in the north-central region. The long stretch of the about 50-kilometer highway is key to the movement of goods, especially farm produce from northern Nigeria to the southwest. However, this once smooth transport corridor is now threatening to hamper economic trade and commerce due to the decaying state of the road, as recent congestion along the old Oyo-Ogbomosho highway has left many truck and trailer drivers as well as motorists stranded and frustrated. Motorists narrated several instances of getting stranded for days due to the gridlock, causing congestion and strains on heavy-duty trucks, some of which break down at strategic portions of the road.
Since the old Ogbomosho road is in very bad condition, we used to divert to the new highway, and the road that links us to the new highway is not good. It is full of rocks. I was trying to navigate through the road when I got into a hole and hit a rock, and the truck had a problem.
Yahuza Muhammad said the situation appears to be manageable during the dry season, because a faulty truck during the rainy season makes the situation worse, as it could completely block the road, adding that food, especially vegetables, get bad while livestock die.
Then the roads were in good condition, unlike today. At that time, if you leave Kaduna at 6 p.m., you will enter Lagos by 6 a.m. the next morning. But things have changed now. Only in Mokwa, Niger State, we had to spend 2 days in a gridlock, and you will still come here to face the same thing.
He disclosed that lately the gridlock had eased a bit compared to what was experienced months before. But the major challenge they have is the road project that was abandoned.
Vehicles get damaged during the rainy and dry seasons. Also in Iliabo, Ajao local government are other areas where the road is under construction or repair, but work has stopped, causing loss of properties in addition to lives.
The community leader said the deplorable state of the road has been the cause of many accidents en route, adding that government has not been responsive to their plight, as there is no repair work being done now. He lamented that as work stopped since President Muhammadu Buhari left office.
I come from Shagam. Sometimes if I leave Shagam, come Ogbomoso, come do work. I've stayed 1 week for inside the go-slow. Inside the go-slow. Yesterday night, inside our driver, the time he entered this go-slow from Odoba, some army robber attacked them. The road good. Some army robber can't stay for road, can attack the driver.
Raji asked the federal government to fix the road, which he described as the only alternative. The contract for the 45.5 kilometer Oyo-Obomosho highway was awarded during the civilian administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo, but it has not been completed till date.
This is News Update coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, we'll be looking at how Kaduna family offers hope to community with a gari processing industry. More to come right after this timeout. Do stay. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Updates coming to you from Trust TV. Let's take a look at our headline stories again. Troops nab Boko Haram suspects in Taraba raid. And Atiku Obi clash over anti-Tinubu coalition plans. Now moving on to other stories. The Kogi State Area Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NLEA, says it has arrested at least 330 suspects in connection with illicit drug trafficking and firearm possession. The State Commander Rabi Abdullahi Sokoto, who disclosed this to newsmen, also emphasized the need for better logistics to improve operations. The report.
According to Sokoto, the command seized over 912 kilograms of illicit drugs, including cannabis, methamphetamine, cocaine, syrup with codeine, and psychotropic substances. In addition, a suspected gun runner was caught with 200 rounds of ammunition, 2 AK-47 magazines, and another suspect with a locally made pistol. The agency also said it has rehabilitated 267 drug users, with 23 others currently undergoing treatment. On judicial funds, 40 offenders were said to have been convicted, while 46 cases remain pending, while the Federal High Court also approved the destruction of over 20 tons of drugs.
When you look at our borders are very porous, with so many exits. They'll just call, okay, this is a point. Let's say Lolo. From that Lolo, you may get more than 10 outlets that maybe officers cannot cover. So that is the problem we're facing.
He also said the agency has intensified outreach programs in schools to revive drug-free clubs and partnerships with private organizations to address drug abuse.
The school are responding positively. So I believe by, before end of this year, I think all the schools in Kebbi State will have a very active drug-free club. We have written letter even to the, let's say, local government service commission. We want to reach all the local government in the state and want to partner with the local government chairman.
On the rehabilitation process, Commander Sokoto explained that the participation is voluntary and outlined the eligible criteria, encouraging affected individuals to seek help and urged residents to report suspicious activities to create a healthier, drug-free society.
Those people that were rehabilitated, some of them, their parents used to bring them, their parents and their guardians used to bring them. And when they come, there's a certain thing they give for their contribution because we're in partnership with this Federal Medical Center, with psychiatric. So when they came, there's a little fee they pay for the treatment of the.
The NDLEA's progress in Kebbi underscores the importance of community support in tackling drug-related crimes. From Birnin Kebbi, Cynthia Yongo, Trust TV.
Amidst economic hardships in the country, a local industry operated by a particular household is creating a sense of livelihood for many people in their community. Now, this is the story of the family of Mr. and Mrs. Sam Ilya, who established a local garri production factory over a decade ago. Trust TV's Bello Musa visited a local factory at Ungwan Nasara in Jama'a local government area of Kaduna State and now reports.
Garri production is predominantly done in the eastern part of Nigeria. However, the availability of cassava prompted people like Sam Ilya to venture into the business here in Kaduna State.
This has been in existence more than 15 years ago. This initiative came to me when a friend of mine from Katsina State gave me some little token to buy a car. Then I went and bought the car. My wife kicked against it. I made a refund. I went back. They gave me my money back and I returned the car.
Ilya says his children manage the production aspects.
I'm producing Gary. I'm producing Gary. Likewise, I'm producing Apu, and starch too. I'm producing starch here. Yes, both cassava and sweet potatoes too. Gari for sweet potatoes is being produced here. Local waste. I don't have the machine, but local waste. There are pans here. They use the pans in frying the gari. Then they transport it to buyers.
Despite the lack of modern machines, dozens of bags of gari are being produced daily.
In a day, you see, like that, we package, you can see it, we package more than almost 100 bags in a day.
Although cassava is produced in the area, according to Zipporah Ilya and Monica Bitrus, transportation poses a significant challenge.
We have been facing numerous challenges. Yesterday, we arrived here around 2 a.m. Finding a vehicle was another hurdle, and the transportation costs were high. To make matters worse, we had to navigate through the forest and cross a river to get the cassava.
If I went to bush market, sometimes if I buy goods, I will not even get car to bring the goods in time. Sometimes when I buy the goods will stay there for 2 days or 3 days before I will get a car, because we used to go to one village from down to around Kagoma side to Kusum sites.
Ramatu Ilya introduced the business to her husband and is now in charge of grinding the cassava, a key stage in the production process. She laments the high cost of running the grinding machine.
We hardly maximize profit by using gas in the machine due to the surge in the price.
The small-scale factory is contributing to economic activities in the area. Ilya believes that the lack of modern machines and other facilities is hindering the growth of the business. They therefore appeal for government intervention to boost the activities of cottage industries in the state. From Jama'a local government in the southern part of Kaduna State, Bello Musa reporting for Trust TV News.
And now to stories out of Nigeria. Hamas has unequivocally rejected a proposal by United States President Donald Trump to relocate Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to Egypt and Jordan, describing the plan as an attempt to undermine the Palestinian cause and displace its people. Now, in a statement released on Monday, Hamas condemned the proposal as an aggressive scheme that disregards the historical and national rights of the Palestinians. The group stressed that Palestinians who have endured years of conflict and forced displacements remain resolute in their commitment to their homeland. Hamas also called on the U.S. administration to end its support for Israelis' policies, which the group claims violate Palestinian rights. The group further urged Arab and Islamic nations, particularly Egypt and Jordan, to oppose the relocation proposal and appeal for their assistance in rebuilding Gaza and supporting Palestinian rights to remain on their land. And in sport, Morocco, the host nation for the 2025 African Cup of Nations, has revealed the 9 stadiums that would host the tournament matches. Originally 6 stadiums from the 6 cities Rabat, Tangier, Agadir, Marrakesh, Casablanca and Fez were selected. However, the number of venues has now been expanded to 9, marking a historic first for the competition as reported by Moroccan media. The 3 new stadiums have been added in the capital Rabat. These include the Stade Moulay Hassan with 12,000 seats, Stade Al-Berdi and Stade Oufat Union Sport, both with a capacity of 15,000 for spectators. With that, we've come to the end of News Update here on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, more programs and documentaries. Thank you for watching. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Bye for now.